Welcome to the Eagleview One Star event. We are thrilled to unveil the latest capabilities of Eagleview One. In this session, we will first hear from our CEO, Piers Dormeyer, who will share his vision and remarks. We will then proceed with a full product demonstration, followed by a drill down into how Eagleview One empowers you to work better, faster, and grow your business. We will then conclude by announcing our nationwide roadshow. Now, please let me welcome Piers Dormeyer to our event.
Hi, I'm Piers Dormeyer, CEO of Eagleview, and welcome to this Eagleview One Star Series. So at Eagleview, our mission's always been clear. It's to help our customers understand the changing world without having to actually go to that world. It's to bring the field to the office or frankly, wherever you want to receive it. So for decades now, we've delivered roof intelligence and other data that's changed how insurance, construction, government, infrastructure operate. We've helped teams stop climbing ladders and start making smarter decisions from better data. Today, we're taking that mission much further. I'm excited to officially introduce the next evolution of Eagleview One, and that's complete, exterior, interactive, remote-first 3D property intelligence, if that's not a mouthful, in ultra-high fidelity. This is not an incremental update. This is a structural expansion of what's possible within our platform. And for the first time, Eagleview One now delivers high accuracy measurements and interactive 3D visualization across roofs, walls, doors, windows, full structures, commercial properties, and multifamily portfolios. All of this is powered by our high-resolution ortho and oblique imagery with 98.77% measurement accuracy. That level of accuracy, delivered remotely, changes how entire industries work. Let's talk about why this matters. Historically, property intelligence has required trade-offs. Accuracy versus speed, scale versus detail, remote access versus confidence. We've eliminated those trade-offs. With Eagleview One, customers can now evaluate entire building envelopes remotely, reduce, and in many cases, eliminate site visits entirely, accelerate underwriting, estimating, and planning cycles, minimize risk and field exposure, collaborate virtually across teams. This isn't just better imagery, it's a better operating model. The world has shifted, labor's tighter. Travel is expensive. Risk exposure matters. Speed is a competitive advantage. Remote first property intelligence is no longer a convenience. It's a strategic necessity. Now, whether you're an insurer underwriting risk, a contractor preparing a bid, a multifamily operator assessing a portfolio, a municipality managing permitting, an energy provider evaluating retrofit opportunities, you can interact with a complete exterior property model from anywhere with high confidence in those measurements. At the center of this release is our interactive 3D visualizer. This is where customers really feel the difference. You're no longer just looking at static reports, you're navigating a living property model. So some of the things you can do here, like zoom into individual walls. You're going to be able to isolate windows and doors, evaluate entire facades, export customized data sets, toggle between roof and maybe full structure views. You'll be able to analyze commercial and multifamily assets at scale. And you can still export and share that data and insights through PDF reports and other industry standard formats. When you see it in action, you kind of understand immediately that this is a game changer. It allows customers to focus only on what matters to their workflow and move faster with clarity. So let's make this tangible. So for insurance and risk, you get faster underwriting, more defensible audits, reduced field deployment, improved catastrophe response planning. Construction and remodeling, faster bids, virtual sales, fewer surprises mid-project, better material estimation and envelope planning. Government public sector, more efficient permitting, scalable property assessment, reduced field workload. Energy and sustainability, you're talking about envelope analysis, retrofit planning, resilience modeling at scale. AI and smart infrastructure, another growing field, another growing area. High fidelity data sets that feed predictive models, better risk analytics, smarter city planning. This is property intelligence becoming decision infrastructure. This release is also about architecture. Eagleview One is not a collection of disconnected tools. It's a unified platform. This brings together our ultra high resolution aerial imagery. It brings together AI-powered analytics, industry-leading measurement science, interactive 3D modeling, multi-property portfolio views, and commercial and multifamily scalability. All of this is in one environment. And because it's a platform, it integrates. Developers can embed Eagleview into their own systems through APIs, SDKs, and model context protocol services. AI teams can also combine our imagery and analytics pipelines with their own data sets. Enterprise customers can standardize workflows across entire organizations, and that's how we enable scale. Eagleview One is subscription-based, continuously updated, and designed to evolve alongside our customers. We're just at the beginning. You'll see smarter workflows, faster evaluations, deeper integrations, expanded AI capabilities, and broader property type coverage. The platform will continue to grow just like you are, and so will the value it delivers. For decades, Eagleview transformed how the world understood roofs. Today, we've expanded that leadership to the entire exterior, complete, interactive, remote first, and ultra high fidelity. This is the most customer-centric workflow we've ever delivered. It reduces friction, it accelerates decisions, it improves safety, it unlocks scale, and most importantly, it gives our customers confidence. Confidence to move faster, confidence to plan smarter, and confidence to operate remotely with precision. This is the future of property intelligence, and it's available now in Eagleview One. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey, and welcome to the next chapter of Eagleview.
Thank you, Piers, for your remark. Let's now move on with a demonstration of Eagleview One Property Viewer. You could see that we are now in the order history interface. And here I can see all the different orders for all the different type of products I've been placing in the past. And I can very easily search for an address if I want, or apply a filter on the type of product, whether I ordered roof or order the full house, or whether the status I'm looking for order in progress or completed. So that's the very basic access to all your history. First, we are going to have a look at a simple residential property here that you can see on display. When you first enter into the property viewer, you are presented with the overhead view here, on top of which the 3D model starts to appear with the roof because it's the overhead. And if I rotate that property, you can immediately start that now I actually have the whole model here, not just the roof, but also the different walls, doors, and windows. Before we get into the details of what has changed in the interface and what is new, I always want to remind that together with Eagleview One, you get access to some key elements of the imagery. So you have with every property at least 5 views available overhead and 4 obliques. So that gives you a kind of an overview in situation using our imagery of what the property is all about. So let's collapse this. I'm going to recap a little bit how the property viewer works. You have a set of tools here that allows you to configure what you want to see. For instance, you can add the parcel boundaries if you want to do so. You can also completely remove imagery if you want. We have seen some of our customers when they start getting into the details of their project, they found it pretty actually convenient to eliminate all distraction and just really focus on the 3D model. So this is kind of one of the options you have available. You can also remove the roof label if you want something a little more less busy, I would say, on the model. Note that you have indication of low slopes as well as overhang. And the overhang is when there is some obstruction from the property. You can actually see that really if you use the realistic texture feature here, where you can overlay the exact imagery that was taken by Eagleview on top of the 3D model. And you can see here the vegetation are creating the obstruction there. So that's the first thing that you can see. Obviously, you can manipulate the model. You've seen I've been using the mouse. You can also use the controls, which are here, to move the property and to move the model wherever you want. You can also directly go to different views, south of view or east view or up views from the cube around here if you like to do so. Now, a few things have changed in the interface since we released the first version, because we are moving from just providing the roof data to the full exterior measurement. And you can see that in the left side, the right side, sorry, of the interface here, where you have structures and penetration. So structures are either a roof, so you can see here the roof, or walls. And you can see that currently we have the roof selected. If I select the walls, we're going to see that in a minute, it will change the model. Now, focusing on the roof for a second, we have the whole roof selected here. I can deselect everything, and I can start selecting just some specific facet here. And if you see on the right side, on this panel here, as I select and deselect, the system automatically calculates the totals for the different pieces I have selected. So this is very convenient if you're doing a partial work, because here I have 3 facets selected, and the total of the roof area is automatically calculated for me. I also get, obviously, the indication of the number of facets that were selected. I also have an indication number of penetration, predominant pitch. I can go into areas per pitch as well, where we'll see that in form of a list from this interface. What is also cool is I can adjust the waste calculation here. By default, we provide a recommended percentage, but you can adjust it depending on your practice and on your personal preferences. And obviously, if you look down, we've changed a little bit also the way the information is presented, but you can see all the different linear measurements here, ridges, valleys, rakes, and as you select or deselect them, they appear and disappear from the model. So that's what we have for roof. One significant addition with this version of the property viewer is that we do now have the penetrations for the roof. So if I click on penetration here, you are going to see that Eagleview One is going to present me with the penetration, still for my selections, so the 4 facets I selected, and I can see the different penetrations here with the different dimensions of this penetration available. So that's also a new capability that comes with the 3D model of the roof now available in Eagleview One. So that's the roof portion. Now, if I go into the walls, I'm going to select the walls for the structure, and you can see that now the model changes. The model focuses on the different walls, and you can see here that all the walls have been selected. They are numbered. You can sort all those different one by either the name of the walls we've been given by the system or by the type of material. Now, in this property, we only have masonry. We will see an example later on with a property with sidings as well. So they all can be also sorted by the type of material that is available for the walls. Same thing, you are going to see the different measurements that appears here. And you can also start to see that pre-displayed here are different doors and windows. Now, if I want to concentrate on the doors and windows, and let's say that I'm going to select just a few walls here, let me get those 4 here. I can now click on penetration, and this is where the list of the different doors, windows, and actually garage doors here, we also show you that there's a garage door, are going to happen, are going to be displayed for the selection that I just made. And same things, you are going to see them numbered and labeled, and you are going to see their dimension and their square footage as well. So this is how you get the whole measurement, all exterior measurement in a 3D model. Note that as you select, you also have a summary of all the objectives that you have selected, as well as the calculation of the totals for the perimeter and for the UI here that are available. All the data that is calculated, you see those little copy-paste element here, so you can very easily copy some information and go paste them in a third-party tool or in an Excel spreadsheet to help you do your work. So it's very easy to manipulate, look at the model, select a few things, and get the dimension for that element that you selected, and export that, copy-paste that into another solution that you use to do your work. A few things I want to show you back here. We also have the realistic roof aspect, which actually overlays the imagery on top of the roof. And this is particularly interesting. If I go deselect the walls here and go back to the roof, you can see that now I see all the penetration for that roof, and I also see the image overlay on top of it, so I can have a better idea on how they are placed on the structure. And if I deselect, I can very easily switch from the 1 and the 2. So that helps me better understand the property, again, without having to go and inspect myself. I can do that from the comfort of my office using the system. So this is a brief overview of the property viewer. Now I want to switch to a second property here. This is still a residential property, but what is interesting on this one is that you can obviously see immediately that there are 2 structures. So one of the very interesting use cases is I can say, well, I am going to focus on one structure. So I'm going to deselect the main structure here and only look at the second one. I'm going to recenter here. I can go inspect it, look at some of the dimension, do whatever I want. And then if I want to do, let's say, only a job on that specific sub-selection, I can very easily now generate a report for that selection. We have moved this into the button called Share. So if you click on the Share button here, you see that you are presented with a number of different formats that you can generate a document that contains the information for that selection. Now, before when I was preparing for this demo, I exported already the one for the PDF. So I'm going to show you, I'm not going to re-download it just to save a little bit of time. I'm going to switch to the PDF here. And you can see that in the beginning of the document here, I have the summary of the property. I also have the ability to very quickly jump back into the property viewer by using the link. And you can see that this is only the second structure that was selected. So the main structure is grayed here, as you can see visually. And if I scroll down, I have the imagery of the property that is added to the document. But I can also see that now when I go into, for example, the length, I will have only the dimensions of the selected portion of the property that will be featured in this export data that I've done. So that's a quick overview of the property viewer and the whole new completion of the 3D model with all the exterior dimension for the property. And we believe that this gives you a much better access to property intelligence within a modern 3D interface. We have just seen a complete demo of the new property viewer with all exterior dimensions for the property we selected. What I want to briefly show you here, you can see I'm back on the order history screen. I want to show you the two other type of properties that are available with Eagleview One, just to give you a sense of other type of properties. The first one is a commercial property. You can see here that we have a large structure and the field and the parking lot. So this is in fact a school, and not going to do a complete demo of the property viewer again, but same thing. We start with the overhead view. We have the imagery available, so we can look at the imagery, which is on pretty good quality here. If we want for the whole properties, different obliques view available for that commercial element. And let me collapse that again. And I can navigate through the property very easily, as we've seen in the previous demonstration. One thing to notice on this property, if I go into the wall section, you can see that I have a variety of sidings that are selected here, and I can have a look at them if I want into more details, as well as masonry. So we have the two types that exist for walls here that are illustrated into this specific property here. So this is a commercial property. Last one I want to show you is a multifamily house. So here, same thing. I have a preloaded one property here. For this one, let's maybe remove the imagery here. We can look at the complete 3D model. You can see that we have an indication of a low slope roof here. This is the texture that is indicates that. And same thing, I can have a look at the imagery of this property if I want to have first, an overview of how does it look. And then I can do whatever is needed for my project on this specific multifamily home. So you can see several condos here which are available, and I can select whatever is interesting for me. Here, the penetration for the roofs are just displayed. So just wanted to spend a couple of minutes showing you the different types of property that are available in Eagleview One in the property viewer with all the exterior measurements. Before we conclude this demonstration, there is one more thing that I would like to show you that is part of Eagleview One. In order to do so, I have reset the demonstration environment here. You can see that we are on the interface that allows you to enter an address and select a property. And for this property, we are now presented with the different products that you can order for that specific property. Obviously, we've been discussing measurement so far in the demonstration. So roof products, full house, walls products. You can see that there is one more category available, which is called data products here. And if I drill down into the menu, there is one choice available here called property data. What is important to notice is that the delivery is instant here. This means that once you place the order for the data set that is associated to this property, you will receive this data set within a few minutes. So you go to next and you submit the order, and you're going to receive a notification in your inbox and you can access the data. I have done the order before, so I'm not going to go through the process of ordering and receiving the email. I'm going to directly jump into the data itself, and I've been reopening that into a browser tab. So if I open this set of information, you will see that this is a fairly summarized set of data for the property, and it's usually pretty helpful if you're doing things like pre-inscription or doing an initial bidding. It is based on our high-resolution imagery. Depending on the property, you will have different images or maybe just one. In this case, we have several images because there have been some changes between 2016 and 2026 on the roof. So we detected those changes and we display that here. And from this imagery, we calculate the information that are made available to you here. You can see that there is an estimation on the roof age, 11 years here, type of materials that we use for the roof, and the presence or non-presence of solar panels. And you also get a few key measurements, the predominant pitch, minimum and maximum eave height, a roof area estimate in terms of number of squares, as well as a count of the number of facets for the roof, and some additional data, whether there is a fence in the property and the total structure count. The reason I wanted to show you that is because this prefigure more and more the information we will have available in Eagleview One with different data sets that will be tailored to different use cases. And it's a very quick way to get access to property intelligence and better accelerate your business. This concludes our demonstration here of Eagleview One. I am now going to pass the floor to Urami, who is going to show you some of the key use cases we believe Eagleview One can address and help you work better, faster, and more effectively.
Thank you, Dimitri. Hello, everyone. I'm Urami. Thank you so much for joining us today. Now what I want to do is shift us into Eagleview One in your workflows. So at this point in the event, you've already seen the product experience. So my goal here is not to walk you through the features again, but rather show you how Eagleview One fits into the way customers actually work. This section is really about the flows, the flow teams move through from first look to deeper measurements to ongoing use, and really how Eagleview One supports that flow end to end. So the first thing to level set here is what's available today in Eagleview One. And at a high level, there are really two key concepts. First is the interactive models, where the property data lives. The second is the downloadable reports, which we've all known. And this is where you can generate, this is where we can generate from the data when needed, right? There are different packages or SKUs, depending on how much detail you need for the job, such as roof, full house, and where full house expands beyond the roof into the rest of the exterior. And one important option to call out is also the instant property data. Now, this is designed essentially for speed, right? You get the data immediately without waiting for it to be processed into the viewer. So really, this slide is about understanding just the core building blocks that our customers can use today. Next is how customers access Eagleview One, because as we know, it needs to work whether you're inside, their own systems or just directly inside Eagleview One. There are two primary access paths. The first, through a third-party workflow, like a CRM, customers place an order the same way they always have and receive an email or a PDF when it's ready. And from there, you can jump directly into Eagleview One to access that 3D model in the property viewer. The second is directly through Eagleview One, the Eagleview One app. Customers log into the dashboard, they can create a new order or search for an existing one and access the same 3D model and reports from there. The key takeaway here is really the Eagleview One connects into existing workflows rather than forcing customers to change how you work. Okay? So Eagleview One is offered as a subscription, and this is an important part of the value because essentially the subscription can be broken up into three things, right? It's tailored to your business based on past and projected usage. It's built for predictable monthly costs, and it's designed to support peak demand, right? It also allows for ongoing enhancements over time. New capabilities continue to be added, so customers can benefit from improvements, without having to reevaluate a brand new product each time. And so again, the key takeaway here is that this is not a static offering. It's really truly designed to evolve with the customer needs. So let's step into some use cases here. So for construction specifically, this use case reflects how construction teams actually move through a job, from early opportunity to committed work to that long-term customer growth. The value comes from using the right level of data at the right time, so without having to slow down the process, right? So we can kind of break this down into three steps here. At the very beginning, speed is what matters the most, right? It matters over perfection. So teams start by leveraging that property data to get an instant initial assessment of the property without having to schedule a site visit or without having to send someone out just to see if the opportunity is real, right? This allows them to quickly qualify opportunities, to understand the basic scope before committing resources, and respond faster than your competitors, right? So with that initial view, teams can generate an early, quick quote using that bid perfect product. Again, that is giving customers a fast answer while momentum is still high. This stage is really about winning the conversation early and not over-engineering the bid, right? Once the project moves from maybe to real, that's where accuracy becomes critical, right? So now we're on step 2. At this stage, teams step into a roof or full house product. So to get more detailed, reliable measurements that they can trust for that final pricing process. So this enables the teams to finalize the bids with confidence, order materials accurately, reduce waste and rework, and of course, protect margins. So the flexibility here is what's important, right? Teams can support full jobs when the entire scope is known, or they can do partial job scoping when only part of the property is in play. And this is where Eagleview One helps turn that speed into certainty without breaking that workflow, like mentioned before. And then the last step here is to nurture and grow. So this is the final stage where that long-term value really shows up, right? Because the property data already exists, teams don't have to start from scratch on that next interaction. They can revisit prior jobs. They can proactively offer scope extensions. And they can also upsell from a roof to a full house as the needs expand, right? This turns one job into an ongoing relationship instead of a one-time transaction, right? So the overall outcome here is faster bid cycles, remote efficiency, higher revenue per customer without increasing that operational complexity. Now, the insurance workflow is a little bit different, but the same principles apply, right? Use the data to scale effort appropriately instead of treating every property the same. Okay, so we can break this out into two steps here. The first step is triage. So using that property data, teams can quickly get an overview of a property and assess risks before committing adjuster time. Again, this allows the insurers to screen and prioritize claims, to identify high-risk properties early, and also to decide where a site visit is actually necessary. Instead of defaulting to a physical inspection every single time, teams can make that smarter decision upfront. So again, key emphasis here is that this step helps focus human effort where it matters the most. Now, step 2, so this is when deeper inspection, is required. Teams move into a roof or for a full house. This provides access to exterior imagery and measurements that support more accurate assessments, faster claim resolutions, and really defensible, just audible records, right? This is especially valuable when the site access is limited, delayed, or just unnecessary altogether. Again, the goal isn't to eliminate the site visits entirely, it's to use them intentionally, supported by this reliable data. So kind of to summarize this here, this two-step flow really allows the insurance teams to move faster overall while maintaining that confidence and defensibility in every decision that they make. Now, this last use case is intentionally broad. It represents situations where organizations need that consistent property intelligence at a scale, right? So across many properties, not just one job or claim. So everything starts with discovery, right? Using property data, teams can instantly access key attributes, imagery to understand the property at a higher level. And again, this supports that early screening, kind of like a portfolio level review and remote assessments without sending teams into the field. Okay, so similar to the other two use cases. This step really just enables speed and scale. Okay. Step two, this is when that deeper understanding is required. So teams move into that roof or full house product line. So this allows them to analyze dimensions and condition, compare properties consistently, collaborate across teams using the same data set. The important part here is really is the consistency, right? Everyone is looking at the same information from the same source. And last but not least is the documentation in action. So with standardized, audible property records, the teams can now support planning and compliance. They can resolve disputes. They can make confident decisions that are really backed by data. This works whether you're evaluating a single structure or managing assessments across an entire portfolio. So again, this use case captures that broader idea behind Eagleview One, one platform that supports discovery, analysis, and action at any scale. So to wrap up my sections here, I just want to go over a few quick tips. And the first is the key ortho and oblique imagery that is included. So this provides, just valuable context when reviewing and understanding a property. The second is the Eagleview One supports selection and customization. So customers can select from a single structure, specific facets, sides, or elements, and from there generate custom reports based on just that selection. Right? This is especially helpful for partial scopes and more targeted workflows. And finally, these same workflows apply across residential, multifamily, and commercial properties. The tools and process remain consistent. The scale is just what changes, right? Okay. And all this kind of brings me back to that core idea of Eagleview One fits naturally into how customers work today and scale with them as their needs grow. And with that, I will be handing it back over to Megan. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pierce, Dimitri, and Uremi, for sharing your thoughts and demonstrating what Eagleview One means to our audience. Let's talk about what Eagleview One really means for property intelligence and for you. First, virtually no site visit needed. With 98.77% accuracy across residential and commercial properties, you can confidently assess properties without rolling a truck. That means faster decisions, lower costs, and less risk. Second, one platform, the full exterior. Interactive 3D models give you a complete, detailed view of the property's exterior all in one place. No stitching together tools, no fragmented workflows, just one unified experience. And third, one subscription, your data, your pace. You control how you use the platform across teams, workflows, and industries. It's flexible, scalable, and built to support the way you work. In short, you get highly accurate data, interactive 3D models, and a future-proof platform that works across any workflow and any industry. That's the power of Eagleview One. Finally, I'm excited to introduce the Eagleview One Roadshow live near you. This spring, we're taking Eagleview One on the road for a nationwide in-person experience across 8 cities from April through May 2026. This isn't a webinar, it's not a static demo. It's a hands-on interactive experience where you can explore the full 3D model in real time on real properties. The roadshow will take us to several cities across the U.S., including New York, Baltimore, Atlanta, and Orlando. We'll also visit Chicago, Dallas, Denver, and Seattle. And we're not just meeting in conference rooms. Each event will be hosted in a fun, engaging venue that makes the experience even more memorable. At each stop, you'll get a live demo of Eagleview One, guided walkthroughs of real-world use cases, and time to ask questions and explore the platform yourself. We encourage everyone to register your interest using the QR code on the screen. Spots are limited. Our team will be in touch with all of the event details and next steps to formally register. We're bringing Eagleview One directly to you, and we can't wait to see you there. Thank you for attending the Eagleview One Star event.